Good evening, Local 100!
Richie, they ate too much.
Because I was thinking to myself as I speak up here, what would be the theme for tonight be? And after hearing that lovely saxophone and that job you did there, I think I'll call tonight Strength and Beauty together, right? So, again, tonight is a night that we want to celebrate Black History Month, but most of all, learning how difficult the process was for us to get here.
That's right.
Understanding who we are.
That's right.
Understanding our strength it took to get here.
That's right.
And the beauty of what we produce at the end.
I want to welcome everyone. If it happens to be your first time at the Union Hall, welcome, this is your house. Today we are here to recognize or make sure that they recognize all the accomplishments and inventions that we have made. And I could tell you, and I'm not going to speak long, I'm going to talk on 2 points that really needs to be noted or TW members really need to know. In the 60s, when no other union would stand next to Martin Luther King, Transport Workers Union did that. So that's one thing that we should all be proud of. The second thing is that we had the pleasure of having 12 Tuskegee Airmen be TWU members.
100%. So while I get to represent Bed-Stuy and Northern Crown Heights in the City Council now, there was a time when there was a dogfight in the street for this council seat. And there was one union that stood up for me above all else. And back in those days, it was TWU against everybody else. And we won. So that is absolutely fact. 100%. So when I walked in the room tonight, aside from grabbing a plate, I felt really at home because you guys really leveraged, and your leadership leveraged your political capital to bet on somebody who was little known, but who you believe would do the work of the people. And because of that belief, and I'm telling you, your leadership took a lot of hits for that. They went out on a limb for me so that I could be the council member, and I promise you I would not be if it wasn't for TWU. So thank you tonight. So I don't know if you remember us taking TWU buses when there was Sandy to work for the city of New York. So I remember buses on Fulton Street pulling up, saying out of service, but they really weren't out of service because we packed those buses.
Yes, sir.
And we went to places like Far Rockaway. That was TWU Local 100. That was your union who said that it would stand up for people in need, whether they were members or not. That quite frankly, that was the day I actually fell in love with TWU. Because TWU, although it was about moving the people, demanded that it was about service. And to take those buses out of service and to fill it with people from Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights and all over the city, and with TWU workers who had taken time off, who weren't getting paid, to go and stand on the front lines for people who were suffering during Sandy, who had no lights, who had no water, who had no food. I had never seen a labor union do that before. And I thought that was incredibly profound because it's easy to take care of your members. It's easy to look inward and provide for your members, which TWU does. But at that moment in time when there was a necessity and a need to look outward, TWU didn't stop to do that. And I thought that that was incredible. So you should give yourselves a hand because a lot of people don't know that this local was on the front lines, providing vital services to people who were without lights, without heat, without food. It was a selfless act. And while all of the other labor unions, so I told people that TWU supported me and I support them because you are about the people and I'm about the people. And I will never ever forget the work and service that you provided. And while this is about Black History Month, about the past, the present, and the future, this union in its leadership is reflective, obviously, of what the city looks like, which is important too. So when you look and think about your leadership and its diversity, that's reflective of a union that's committed to not only serving you, but serving the entire city.